You have seen the end before you saw the beginning. You watched the sky turn white. You felt the ground vanish beneath you. And yet, you were not afraid, because you have always been here. Before the fire, before the water, before the first breath, you were there. 4.5 billion years ago, you opened your eyes to this. No ground, no sky, only a cloud of dust and fire spinning in the void. The young Earth was not the peaceful blue world you know. It was a furnace, a molten, violent, unrecognizable ball of rock and fire. Continually struck by asteroids and protoplanets, forging itself again and again into something larger. You watched each hammer blow. This was Earth at its birth, a magma ocean stretching beyond every horizon. No land, no air fit to breathe. Only fire, rock, and the slow, violent work of creation. As the planet began to cool, something extraordinary happened. Water vapor that had been trapped in the atmosphere for millions of years finally had a surface cold enough to rain upon. And so, it began to rain for millions of years. The rain never stopped. It filled every depression, every crater, every low-lying plain. And the first ocean was born. Dark, boiling, mineral-rich, and entirely without life. A world of water and rock, waiting. In the darkness of the deep ocean, where superheated water meets cold rock, chemistry became something else entirely. The first molecules that could copy themselves. The beginning of a story that would take billions of years to tell. Something no one planned, no one built, no one expected. From these vents, the ancestor of all life would eventually emerge. Not here, not exactly, but from this same chemistry, this same impossible spark. The oxygen those microbes produced was poisonous to most life on Earth at the time. It was the first mass extinction. And yet, from that catastrophe, the atmosphere we breathe today was born. At least 3 times in Earth's history, the entire planet froze. The oceans locked under kilometers of ice. Nothing moved. Almost nothing survived. This lasted for millions of years. And yet, beneath the ice, in the dark and cold, life held on. In the blink of a geological eye, after 3 billion years of near silence, life exploded. Every major body plan that exists today appeared within just 20 million years. Eyes, mouths, legs, shells, fins. The ocean became a world. For the first time, you were surrounded by creatures you could see. Then, 500 million years ago, something made a decision that would change everything. It crawled out of the water. The land was empty, just rock and possibility. No sounds, no wind in leaves. There were no leaves. But something chose to stay. And that changed everything. 350 million years ago, Earth's first great forests covered the land. Giant trees 50 meters tall, insects the size of eagles. This world was so productive, so full of life, that it buried its dead under kilometers of organic matter. We call it coal. The carbon they captured would wait underground for 300 million years, until something else dug it up and changed the sky again. $252 million years ago, Earth almost ended life entirely. Volcanoes larger than any before or since erupted for 1 million years. The oceans turned acidic. The sky turned toxic. 96% of all species on Earth died. You almost watched the story end. But life does not know how to stop. In the emptiest silence, something always survives. And from that one survivor, everything would rise again. Life rebuilt itself. From the ruins, new creatures arose, and the land itself began to change. The single great continent fracturing, drifting apart. For 165 million years, this world belonged to the dinosaurs, longer than any group of animals has ever dominated this planet. They filled every niche. Giants that made the ground shake, small hunters quick as thought, flyers that crossed continents on leather wings. Tyrannosaurus rex, perhaps the most perfect predator land has ever known. It stood 6 meters tall. It could smell you from kilometers away. For 2 million years, this species, Tyrannosaurus rex, was the last word in this world. Until it wasn't. $66 million years ago. A rock 12 kilometers wide, 70,000 kilometers per hour. We watched it fall. In the next hour, more energy was released than all the nuclear weapons ever built, multiplied by 1 million. The impact winter lasted 2 years. 3/4 of all species on Earth were erased. The sky turned to stone. The sun forgot the Earth. But in the darkness, deep in burrows and root systems, small, warm-blooded creatures survived. They had been waiting in the shadows for 160 million years. Their time had finally come. Life filled the void with breathtaking speed. Mammals evolved into thousands of forms. In the trees, one family developed something remarkable: forward-facing eyes, the ability to judge distance, to reach and grasp. The grasslands spread across Africa, and with them, a new body plan emerged. One built for walking upright on 2 legs, with hands freed for other purposes. 2 million years ago, one of our ancestors stood upright. 1 million years ago, another learned to control fire. The world had never seen anything like this. creature that could change its environment before its environment changed it. "200,000 years ago, Homo sapiens emerged. Tens of thousands of years later, someone pressed their hand against a cave wall and blew red dust around it. They were saying, 'I was here.' You can still see that hand today." Then, in the last 1 second of Earth's 4.5 billion year story, something unprecedented occurred. In just 0.004% of Earth's history, one species went from cave walls to city walls. From adapting to the environment to adapting the environment to itself. 5,000 years ago, the first city rose from the mud. 5,000 years later, its children reached the clouds. We have always been building the same thing, just taller, faster, and more alone. From here, you cannot see the lava that formed it. You cannot see the ice that covered it. You cannot see the billions of creatures that lived and died to bring it to this moment. But it is all there, every layer, every era, beneath the surface of that small, blue, breathing world. In 4.5 billion years, this planet has survived everything. Fire, ice, poison, impact, extinction upon extinction. Life has fallen and risen again, every single time. You are not separate from this story. You are its latest chapter. What you do next is entirely up to you. You were there. You are here. You will be remembered.